to Roundtable Reads, where a group of professional and experienced actors perform a dramatic reading of original scripts. Tonight, the Antaries Prequels, Chapter 7, Break and Enter. Our cast in order of appearance are Nick Buckland, Glenn Cupid, David John Clark, Mark Healy, Brad J. Martin, Rodney Twelftree, Corey Minns, Tani Cupid, and Carol Lawton. I'm Thorin Cupid, the writer and narrator. A special thanks to AAA Talent for providing so much of the talent for this project. Link above and in the description. So now, without further ado, Antaries Prequels, Chapter 7, Break and Enter. The crew of the Antaries, a cargo freighter working out of Engate Station, is captained by Andrew Harrow, supported by Security Officer David Menz, Quartermaster Paula Cargo-Warren, Navigator Ian O'Connell, and Engineer Ravi Van. As they occasionally fly jobs for the ubiquitous corporation, they also have a 420D artificial named Nigel. Having survived pirates, pestilence, asteroid strikes, and rogue AI, the Antares crew have arrived back at Engate Station for some rest and relaxation. Interior restaurant. 2 glasses of wine sit on an elegant white tablecloth. The table is set as befits an opulent restaurant. Captain and Douglas, old friends, are enjoying banter while they wait for their meal to arrive.
You're certainly moving up in the world, Douglas. Moving out of shipping certainly seems to have worked for you. This is much better than Burke's Diner.
Yeah, it's one of the perks of dying without heirs. No one to leave an inheritance for.
Still, you're doing all right for yourself.
External street, bank frontage. A city street out the front of a modern-looking bank. A sign on the front declares it to be a Roker Bank. 2 guards in patrol uniforms stand at the doors, watching the general public moving past. A car pulls up to the curb at the front of the bank. Captain, Cargo and Tech get out. Captain's wearing a long coat. Cargo has empty duffel bag on her shoulder. Tech has her tools hidden under her jacket. Cargo does a quick look around while Tech and Captain exchange a nod. Tech moves away from the pair and down a side alley that runs by the bank. Captain and Cargo move up to the front doors of the bank, which the patrol officers open for them. In the restaurant, Captain sips wine with obvious relish.
So, you're in banking now.
Roker Bank. Not a big ship, really. It's all about resource management. You make your money moving things around. I make mine ensuring things stay where they are put.
Exterior alleyway. The outer wall of the bank. A large dumpster bin sits under a ventilation vent set in the wall about 2 meters up. Tech moves quickly down the alley and climbs onto the bin. With a quick check to see she's not being watched, she unzips her jacket to show her tools and selects a small powered screwdriver. In a matter of moments, she has the vent open enough that she can pull herself inside. The vent closes again, and there's no sign that she was ever there. Interior bank foyer. This is a spacious and well-lit area where bank patrons are queuing to see tellers or sitting waiting for appointments. There are 3 artificials working as tellers and 4 armed patrol officers. Captain and Cargo move into the area and look around. Captain sees their target and gestures towards it with a nod. They both move to one side of the room where a small door stands, a sign on it declaring it is for authorised personnel only. With a quick glance behind them, Cargo opens the door and they both step through. Exterior street, bank frontage. Nigel and security get out of the car. Nigel is carrying a briefcase. They both turn to look at the bank.
Our turn.
They both move quickly to the bank, where the patrol officers open the door and allow them in. In the restaurant, Douglas is buttering a bread roll, still talking amiably.
And I help people who are struggling. I remember what it was like having to make ends meet. Sometimes all you need is that little bit more for just one trip. Just to get back on top.
And your board are happy with you doing that?
Yeah, I've convinced them I'm a pretty good judge of risk. It's what makes a Roker Bank the most secure in all the 4 systems.
Interior stairwell. Captain and Cargo step through a door into a stairwell. Without a word, they split up. Captain going up, cargo down. Interior ventilation shaft. Tech is climbing through a ventilation pipe. There is barely enough room for her, and she's having to move by wriggling with her arms and shoulders. She has a torch to see ahead of her. The entire thing feels claustrophobic. Bank foyer. Security and Nigel enter the foyer. They do a quick scan of the room with their eyes, and then security indicates to one of the empty seats near the middle of the room. They move to it. Nigel sits down with the briefcase in its lap, the opening facing towards security.
Ready?
Nigel simply nods. Security reaches behind Nigel's head, and its eyes go black as it turns off. In the restaurant, Captain and Douglas are still enjoying a meal. The captain shrugs.
Everywhere is secure till someone breaks into it.
Yeah,
Laughs easily.
we aren't talking about buying a big padlock. The bank is protected by art officials and patrol officers. The lock is on a remote electronic timer. There are live and recorded video feeds monitored continuously.
Exterior street, bank frontage. Nav is sitting in the driver's seat of the getaway car. He's obviously nervous. Through the windscreen, he's watching two patrol officers on door duty who are watching him. The guards lean together and have a quick conversation he can't hear.
Don't come over. Don't come over.
The guards seem to reach a decision and begin to move towards the car.
They're coming over. Of course they are.
Inside the restaurant, Captain and Douglas are still sitting and eating as friends, but there is a tension there now, a sense of competition.
Sounds like you're asking to be broken into. The right team with the right set of skills. My crew could give you a good run for your money.
Oh, I'd like to see you try.
Interior, bank monitor room. A monitor room with a wall of monitors showing the different rooms in the bank. One screen shows cargo arriving at the bottom of the stairs. Another shows the front, where the two guards are moving to talk to Nav. A third shows the main foyer, where we can just see Nigel and security. Two guards sit at their desks. They're not particularly alarmed, but are attending to the screens. Therefore, they do not immediately react when Captain enters. Captain steps through the door of the monitor room and shoots the first guard in the back of the head. The second guard is turning and reaching for his gun as Captain shoots him in the chest. Both guards slump against their death. Captain checks his watch, then leads forward to the monitors. He begins to switch off certain ones. In the restaurant, Captain picks up his wine.
Well, we both know that it's not really my thing.
Captain takes a long, slow drink from his glass, not looking at Douglas. Interior bank control room. This is a long room with a variety of electronic equipment in it. Circuit breakers, power feeds, switch monitors, fuses. A single controller is watching the displays in a disinterested way. She has a cup in her hand, but as she lifts it to her mouth, she finds it's already empty. She swivels in a chair and moves out of the room. As soon as she's gone, a vent on the wall opens and tech slides out. She moves quickly to the board and begins to change switches. Interior bank vault door. We see the closed door of a bank vault. A shot rings out and a guard slumps into view past camera. Cargo steps into view over the guard and walks to the door. She checks her watch. Exterior street, bank frontage. Two officers stand at the window of Nav's car. He winds it down and gives his most winning smile.
Is there a problem, officers?
Are you aware, sir, you are parked in a 15-minute loading zone? Permits only.
Well, yes. But I've only just got here. It hasn't been 15 minutes yet, has it?
Oh, this is a designated permit zone, sir. I'm going to need to see your permit.
Nav's face falls. He reaches back into the car and starts fumbling in the glove box.
Right. Permits. It was just here.
Interior, bank foyer. Security is standing in front of the deactivated Nigel, looking at the clock on the wall. The minute clicks over. Security turns to the briefcase and opens it. Inside is a pair of handguns and a large electronic device. He twists the lever to trigger the device. There's an odd moment of silence in the bank and suddenly all the tellers collapse, deactivated by the EMP device. The crowd's initial reaction is confusion. Security reaches behind Nigel's head. Nigel's eyes turn from black to normal as it turns back on. Nigel stands suddenly, pulling one of the handguns from the briefcase, which falls to the floor. It levels the pistol at the guard who is closest to the door and fires once. The guard drops. Security turns his own gun on one of the guards leaning over a stricken artificial. 2 shots take him down as well. People begin to scream. Like a synchronized team, Nigel and security pivot through 90 degrees and fire past each other. 2 more guards fall to the floor. The frightened crowd are also flattening on the ground as Nigel and security turn slowly to check that all resistance has been pacified. Interior bank control room. Tech is still working on the controls. The controller with her coffee appears at the door. She's surprised to see her.
Hey!
Tech doesn't react. On the board in front of her, there is a click and a green light goes yellow. Interior bank vault door. Cargo is still standing in front of the vault door, over the guard. There is a tone and the vault door begins to swing open. Cargo smiles and moves inside. Interior bank control room. Tech is still working on controls. The controller moves quickly to stop her.
Get away from there!
Tech's hand flies out just as she's within range and catches her by the throat. She's shocked and unable to cry out. Tech looks up at her almost peacefully.
Only dreams.
The controller's face is red as she tries to claw at Tech's hand. She makes no noise as her eyes roll back. She's unconscious almost immediately. The coffee mug falls from her hand, spilling coffee on the floor. Interior bank vault. Cargo is moving quickly from one shelf to another, grabbing the only most expensive items and leaving things that are traceable, like paper money, behind. She puts the goods into her duffel bag. Interior bank foyer. Captain steps through the side door into the foyer. Security and Nigel are still standing in the centre, the rest of the crowd lying on the ground with their hands over their heads. Captain moves to them, but he is looking at the cowering crowd. He addresses security while still looking at the people.
There are more witnesses here than we had anticipated.
Too many.
Nigel is continuing to sight dispassionately along her gun.
Would you like me to dispose of them?
Yeah, all of them. I'll go and help Cargo carry. Dave, you collect Ravi.
Security and he move back towards the door. Behind them, they hear gunshots and the crowd starting to scream. They do not react. One woman close to the side door tries to make a run for it, but security shoots her down as they approach. Security and Captain step through the side door. Interior bank vault door. Cargo is stepping out of the vault door. She pauses and pulls something from her belt, which she presses like an adhesive strip on the inner lining of the door frame. Captain steps into shot. When he speaks, Cargo jumps in fright.
You finished?
One last step.
Cargo finishes applying the strip and steps away.
What's that?
Spot welding strip. Use it for emergency repairs.
They push the door closed and there's a bright light just as it's sealing, then a sizzling sound.
It'll be ages before they can get in to even work out what is missing.
They grab up the duffel bag, of loot, and move off. Exterior street, bank frontage. Cargo, Captain, Security, Tech and Nigel approach the car quickly and get in. Nav starts the car.
Any problems?
Nothing I can't handle.
As Nav pulls the car away, we see the bodies of the 2 door guards lying on the street curb. Interior, office. Captain drops the duffel bag of loot on a desk. Behind it is Douglas.
125 million in adjusted credits.
Douglas smiles and leans forward.
In and out in just 8 minutes. 9 guards and 1 technician eliminated. 3 artificials out of action. Not to mention the civilians.
Douglas takes the bag from the desk, still smiling.
You said this wasn't your thing.
Douglas stands and moves to an artificial who is standing at one side of the office and passes it the bag.
Have it counted and return it to the vault.
He turns back to the captain.
I appreciate your agreeing to help with this. I'll admit, I underestimated your crew.
No, you overestimated your security. They were sloppy and relaxed, overconfident.
Yes. We are reviewing the raid now.
How did the patrol respond?
The normal rhetoric about unnecessary risk. I reminded them, if you'd been real thieves using live rounds instead of stunners, they wouldn't even be around. And I'd be the one complaining. I can tell you, the board is very unhappy, especially about having to cut open the vault door. but it will give me leverage I need to put in the extra.
Captain is still standing impassive.
Sorry, rambling. The downside of this sort of business.
He crosses back to his desk and removes an envelope.
Here's the bet that we agreed on. You certainly earned it.
Now, Captain smiles.
You are a man of your word, Douglas.
Don't let that get around, or I'll be ruined. A banker you can trust.
That may be a better tagline than the most secure. The bottom line, it doesn't matter what precautions you take. Something can always find a way past them.
There's a beeping from a monitor on Douglas's desk. Douglas glances around at it.
I'm sorry to cut this short, Andrew, but I really need to take this message. I really wish I was still able to be travelling out there like you. Much more exciting.
That's okay. I can show myself out.
Captain turns and leaves while Douglas moves back behind his desk. He does not sit, but watches to make sure the captain has left. Interior, office. Douglas is still standing behind his desk. There is the sound of a door closing and he sits down and turns on the monitor. Sound of letters displaying as it prints a message one character at a time.
Patrol Ship 13. Mobile Infantry 142. Report incoming. Target acquired. Mission losses within expected numbers. Target secured for transport. Report ends.
Douglas turns off the screen and leans back in his chair. He gives a slow breath out.
Attention, all units in Precinct 19. Fugitive 139 is confirmed in your area. Apprehend with extreme prejudice.
Hands where we can see them.
Up on your heads! Now! Now! Now!
Nav and Nigel hurriedly comply.
On the floor. I said on the floor. Now. Move. Faces down. Hands behind heads.
The crowd, including Captain Security and Gurney, quickly drop to the ground.
Endgate patrol. Everyone out. Now. Go. Move. Wait. My friend is still in there.
On your feet, soldier. My apology for the treatment. But under Article 79, all non-active military personnel are to consider themselves on temporary active service.
Tech is pressed carefully into the space and is listening to the conversation through a roof grate.
We've locked down every exit to the province. If Fugitive 139 is still here somewhere, we'll find them.
My job was to make the planet safe. There is a reason they don't use soldiers as a police force.
This is Ravi we're talking about. She looks like a strong wind would break her in half.
Ravi Van, accused murderer who took out 2 armed pirates while she was unarmed on our first trip out.
Dave, make the planet safe.
Security fires a single close-up of Tech's face, looking shocked. Looks down at the blood spreading from her shoulder across her chest. She collapses.
Some lore for those who want more. We see here that Douglas is the influence behind recovering the items from Darkling Claim through the series. This eventually leads to the death of all on the patrol ship and the attack on the Antaries crew. There have been hints that Ravi is unnaturally strong. How else does she choke a grown adult without raising a sweat?
Subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell too for more episodes when they come through.